Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay. I'm going to do a reading on the upcoming Republican National Convention, which is happening on the 15th, which is tomorrow. I record this right now at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific time. Last day in Canada, or last night in Canada, I should say. Had a good trip. The RNC in Milwaukee has a bit of a weird thing about guns. Apparently, you won't be able to bring guns into the convention, which I think is a good thing given what's been happening recently. But a Wisconsin state law will allow people to open carry guns and can conceal carry guns with a permit inside what's known as the soft perimeter, which surrounds the Secret Service patrolled inner hard perimeter. City officials wanted to change that, but they can't get around it. A recently passed city ordinance outlines what is banned in the outer perimeter, including tennis balls and paintball guns. But it doesn't cover most firearms and only prohibits weapons already outlawed in the state, which would include fully automatic weapons. Which means that people walking around within walking distance of the RNC Convention Hall in that soft perimeter, they can't carry a paintball gun, but they can carry an AR-15. Robert Bauman, a Milwaukee city alderman who proposed adding guns to that city ordinance, said, I can just picture this image of somebody coming up to the entry point with an AR-15 strapped over one shoulder, a long rifle over the other, and two pistols in their belt, and the cops asking them, you got any tennis balls on you? It's ridiculous. But given the energy that is now shifted with this assassination attempt on Donald Trump, I want to see what the energy is going to look like at the RNC. I did a reading on this earlier, but everything's going to be changed now. A lot has changed in the last 24 hours. So, entertainment purpose only. Let's look at the energy of the RNC convention. The star card. Well, I would imagine that folks are going to be rallying around Donald Trump at this point. It would probably be unpopular to nominate somebody else. Crossed with the Six of Coins. It's funny. The Republicans are weighing their ability to win the election, and with Trump getting shot at, it's almost like he gets pity votes from people. People who might have wanted to stand up against him may not do that. Alternatively, they could say that Donald Trump, if they wanted to argue against it, I give this a low probability at this point, but if they wanted to argue against him, they could say that, Trump has, he brings violence with him now wherever he goes, and it's in the best interest to select a different candidate who won't be assassinated on the campaign trail. Because what will they do then? I don't really believe that argument as I even tell it to you. I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility. I don't give it a very high probability. I think Trump is going to be given a reprieve here. And anybody who was thinking about selecting another candidate is probably thinking something different. In the past, you got the devil card. Trump and his policies. The Supreme Court basically said that presidents are now kings, and this former president did not peacefully transfer power back in January of 2020. You can't let him get back into the office because he won't leave willingly, and now you've given him legal powers to not do that. Current situation. Eight of Swords. They're stuck with him. They don't know how to get rid of him. This was their last best chance to get rid of Trump before the election. Now they're stuck with him. Or they can't think of a creative way to get rid of Trump. Overarching energy is the Six of Cups. It's, he's just going to be the sentimental favorite. They're just going to follow the rules like they always do. They know what's best for the party. They know what's best for the country. They know what's best for democracy. but they don't have a collective spine amongst them to actually do anything about it. The lesson to be learned is the Four of Wands. They're going to nominate him. They're going to nominate him. They're going to welcome the devil right in through their front door because they don't have the courage or the creativity to think outside the box to prevent it from happening. And they will pay the price at the ballot box. I don't have anything else editorial to add to that. I think that's pretty straightforward. That's the energy around it right now. I will want to ask, though, little four-carder about Trump and his VP pick. Because now that we've been through all this, what's he going to do with his VP pick? Allegedly, he was going to announce it before the convention or right up to the convention. And near as I can tell, I haven't seen any information saying that he's done that. Let me pause for a second and just double check that. Through the beauty of Google, we get you his short list is Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, Doug Burgum, and Tim Scott. So let's look at those four. I think the last time I read on this, Marco Rubio actually had the best cards, but that was then. This is now. We will just go through the order that this little article has here, and we'll see if any of those four people have good cards versus the other ones. Okay. All right, so who's the first one going to be? It's going to be Marco Rubio. The last person I had as the leader in this pack. I guess Trump nominating a female VP is that plan's gone out the window. I guess nobody wants to remember that one because that would be inconvenient. Sorry, Miss Stefanik. Okay, Marco Rubio, 4 cards for you. The Lover's card. That's a dandy start. Judgment, just like we're going to get from the RNC, you're going to get the Judgment card. Keeping things close to the vest. Young. Yeah, I think Marco Rubio right now is the favorite, just on this spread alone. You got the Lover's card. Agreements that being made. I think Rubio probably does a reasonable job with fundraising, but he is keeping his values close to the he's like constricted so that, he's not going to get in Trump's way. He will definitely take a back seat. He's young and he'll get support. And this is Trump here underneath there judging everybody. And I think he likes Rubio's performance so far. So right now, if I were giving odds, I would say Rubio is the leader. Now, granted, I've only thrown on one candidate, so let's see what the others' cards look like, and we'll go with it from there. Who's going to be next? J.D. Vance, Mini Trump. See, now Trump's not going to want another Trump. Because you already have Trump. You don't need a second one. You need somebody different. Can't shuffle cards today. They're not flipping here. All right. J.D. Vance. What are things looking like for J.D. Vance? If I were reading for J.D. Vance right now and you guys asking me, am I going to be the VP pick? Here's what I'm going to tell him. Let's see. Come on, JD. Let's see what we got for you. The 8 of Swords. Kind of restriction. Hands tied. Star card. A lot of star power there. Nightmare scenario. The world. The devil. Here's the problem with J.D. Vance. He's too much like the president. And, and that's his strong point and his weak point. It's who he is. And it's because he's so much like Trump, it's Trump's worst nightmare and his own worst nightmare. You can't have two narcissists in the room. There's not enough oxygen. He's a star in his own right, and Trump loves who J.D. Vance is. But it comes to a conclusion here. 2 major arcana. J.D. Vance may be somebody else's VP pick. He may even be a Republican nominee one day, but he's not going to be Trump's VP pick from this. He had a pretty good shot. You got the star card and the world card. Those are great cards. Again, the only thing that seems to be working against J.D. Vance is that he's too much like Trump. And Trump doesn't need another Trump. Because if you have another Trump, that Trump is going to take President Trump, the 47th president, should he be elected, and he's going to put him out on a boat with a big battery and some sharks swimming by and say, good luck. Make your choice. Doug Burgum. This guy was kind of like a dark horse, but kind of that outside candidate. They just sort of, he's just vanilla enough to be able to get things done. He might be too passive for Trump's liking, where Marco Rubio is a bit more dynamic. Rubio's also, I believe, on the Senate Intelligence Committee, and you better believe Trump's going to want all the intelligence he can get. Because, there's money to be made selling secrets. Not cheap stuff here. Okay, Doug Burgum. What's the likelihood of Burgum getting the VP selection here? Okay, Doug Burgum, what do you get? You get the devil card. All right. I think he would be the most fawning of Trump supporters, the most willing of the four of them. Knight of Cups. Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands. And the Five of Wands. So underneath we got the Redneck Riot here with the Devil card. He would be the one most likely to do Trump's bidding. But will he raise enough chaos is the question. There's that energy factor that Trump looks for. And I don't think he's got the energy factor. I was talking about him being passive. If he raises his energy up, he has a shot at it. Things changing quickly. I think Trump likes him. There's something about him that Trump likes. But this would be like the guy who's going to finish in second. Penultimate battle. If Trump had it down to two people, he was one of the final two. But I don't think he wins the battle to get in there. It's like he's almost like he's too nice a guy to win this. But I'd say, these cards, the energy around him, it might have been that he was thinking about this guy before the rally, and after the rally, maybe he advances after the rally. Maybe he's the one that goes to Trump after the rally and talks with him, talks about his ear injury or something like that. There's an outside again. I give him second place here in this one. If going through my little scenarios with the Lovers card for Rubio might have been promised it before that rally, and maybe he switched to Burgum after it. You might have to do a head-to-head rally, head-to-head on those two. Okay, lastly, Tim Scott. The very powerful, very fawning Tim Scott. So, yeah, I would have it right now, Marco Rubio first, Doug Burgum second, J.D. Vance third, ready to drop to fourth. Well, let's see what Tim Scott's got in store here for the VP pick. It might be with Burgum that Trump's not quite done with him yet. Which is why you got that Nine of Wands. I just want a little bit more out of you before I tell you no. Tim Scott, the Magician. That's a great card. Trying to manifest something. For the Emperor, the Ten of Coins. These are great cards. Six of Swords. Seven of Coins. creating things, money. Now, with Tim Scott, he's the one who's going to most let the Emperor do whatever he wants. He will bend over backwards to help the Emperor out. Look at all the money cards here with this one. Good Lord, now I am confused. We got the Six of Swords. We're moving out of troubled waters to calmer shores. He likes Tim Scott because I think he thinks that Tim Scott will help him make a lot of money. And a lot of money in here. I suspect he sends Tim Scott packing, but there's going to be something with fundraising and packs and money and stuff like that with Tim Scott. These are great cards. Don't get me wrong. These are great cards here. But I think he falls short of Marco Rubio, but I might put him ahead of Doug Burgum just because of the money factors here. This would be like the type of guy that Trump would take all his money, all his campaign money, and then say, "Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't enough." Tim Scott would not challenge Donald Trump at all. Donald Trump likes that. Tim Scott, there's money around him. A lot of money around him. And Trump likes that. I don't know if that's a values thing. Or, you know what that you know what it is? That Ten of Pentacles is about values, DNA, your lineage. Trump and his father and his father's father are very racist people. Tim Scott is black. Tim Scott, if he were white, probably would have had a really good shot at this. But I think Tim Scott's melanin count in his skin is going to work against him on this one. Trump might like him because he seems to be a closeted gay man that you could use to blackmail him, just like he did Mike Pence. Okay. I'm just going to do one card for each. Okay, who does Trump pick? Or let's say, better yet, describe to me who, as of right now, Trump can change his mind, as of right now, who Trump is leaning towards as his vice president. Describe this person. With four cards, we'll find out who Trump, what he's looking for in his VP. Queen of Swords. He's going to make that choice. He doesn't like any of them because he doesn't want a VP. There you go. He doesn't want a VP, but he has to choose one of these four. He just wants the money. He's loved the competition and the money that he's raised off of it. Here. King of Wands. He's going to make the decision. Page of Pentacles. He's going to go for youth and just kind of who's going to grift for him. I mean, trust me, he would love it if Ivanka was around. He would absolutely name her. I don't think he's made up his mind yet. He knows he has to choose one. He can't get away with not choosing one, but he doesn't. He's not ready. He's not ready. He doesn't like any of them right now. Don't be surprised if he doesn't pick somebody. Do not be surprised if he does not pick somebody. That King of Wands could be, the folks in the Republican Party saying, you have to pick someone. But right now, the energy is, he doesn't want to pick anybody. Okay, but if he is forced to pick, will he pick any of these four people? Don't have a pendulum. If he's forced to pick, is he going to pick one of these four people? Who's it going to be? Describe who he might pick. It may not be one of these four. Eight of Cups walking away. He doesn't want to pick. He may leave this without having picked somebody. Knight of Swords. Five of Pentacles. Knight of Cups. The emotional walking away from it, being felt like he's left things left out in the cold. Mind's being made up. Yeah, and this is a celebration of him walking away. It's almost like it's like he's not going to choose any of these four. He doesn't like these four. There's maybe somebody else he chooses. Wild. I don't know. I'm going to have to end this with an I don't know. Of the four, if he was going to pick the four, I'd say Rubio first. I would say Burgum second, J.D. Vance third, and Tim Scott fourth. If Tim Scott if he could look past Tim Scott's skin color, I would say Tim Scott would be second with a real shot at first. That's where I'm at with those four candidates. But with that last spread, it looks like he's gonna walk out of the conference without having chosen somebody. And he'll say he hasn't made up his mind yet. He'll make up his mind soon. So there's that. So knock on wood, we'll see how this one turns out. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your supporting the algorithm and getting my video out to more people. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.